close your eyes and picture the Mongol Empire. You are probably thinking of vast grassy plains, thunderous hooves, raining arrows, and guys in fur hats casually establishing the largest contiguous land empire in human history. Historically, their secret sauce was unmatched mobility, brilliant cavalry tactics, and a postal system that would make modern delivery companies weep. But what if we took that legendary 13th century mobility and injected it with a hyper-accelerated scientific revolution? What if, instead of just adopting captured siege weapons, the Great Khan decided to invest heavily in STEM? Welcome to an alternate timeline where the Silk Road became the Silicon Road. A world where the Mongol Empire didn't just conquer with compound bows, but with advanced technology. We are talking about Nomad tanks running on biofuel, mechanized Falcon drones, orbital satellites monitoring the steppes, and intercontinental ballistic missiles launched straight from the sunroof of a traditional felt yurt. Today we are exploring a radically different world map. How would global geopolitics shift if the ultimate masters of mobile warfare suddenly unlocked the modern technology tree? Buckle up, because this history lesson is about to break the sound barrier. To understand how this changes the world map, we first have to understand how the Mongols got their tech. Historically, the Mongol Empire was actually incredibly open-minded about adopting new ideas. They absorbed engineers, astronomers, and administrators from all over Eurasia. In our alternate timeline, let's say that around the year 1220, a brilliant group of captured scholars in the newly established capital of Karakorum makes a breakthrough in physics, metallurgy, and energy. Genghis Khan, being the ultimate pragmatic CEO, looks at a crude steam engine and says, "That's cool, but can you put it on a horse?" The empire redirects its massive wealth, the combined GDP of half the known world, into pure research and development. The traditional nomadic lifestyle does not disappear, it evolves. The steppes of Central Asia transform into a massive, decentralized tech hub. Because they are nomads, they don't build massive, polluted factory cities. Instead, they develop mobile micro-factories. The entire military-industrial complex is on wheels, powered by a highly advanced, ultra-refined, high-octane version of fermented mare's milk. Yes, in this timeline, IRAG is the ultimate renewable biofuel. Let's talk about the hardware, because this is where the map of Eurasia gets completely redrawn. Historically, European and Middle Eastern knights relied on heavy armor and massive stone castles to slow down the Mongol advance. But how do you defend a stone castle against the newly developed steppe prowler, a high-speed, all-terrain nomad tank? These aren't the slow, clunky tanks of early modern history. These are agile, lightweight hover tanks or highly articulated mechs designed to glide over the harsh terrain of the Gobi Desert and the muddy plains of Eastern Europe. They maintain the classic hit-and-run tactics, just at 60 miles per hour with auto-targeting turrets. Then we have the cavalry. The traditional Mongol warrior controlled multiple horses to rotate them out and stay fresh. Our alternate Mongols utilize robotic horse companions. These mechanical beasts act as mobile charging stations and launch pads for horse-riding drones. Picture a swarm of silent solar-powered quadcopters shaped like golden eagles, sweeping over enemy lines. They don't just gather intelligence, they jam enemy communications, which, in the 13th century, means they physically intercept carrier pigeons midair and drop highly accurate, localized noisemakers to panic enemy cavalry. And for the ultimate siege weapon, say goodbye to the trebuchet, introducing the Yurt-launched tactical projectile. From the outside, a Mongol camp looks like a peaceful collection of traditional round tents. But hit a button and the roof opens up, revealing a mobile missile silo. Because the yurts are constantly moving, enemy forces have zero idea where the launch sites are. The ultimate mobile deterrence. So, How does the world map look by the year 1250 with this technology? Historically, the Mongols reached the edges of Europe and the Middle East before pulling back due to internal politics and logistical limits. But with high-speed rail networks, fiber optic communication along the Yan postal route, and mechanized logistics, those limits vanish. The Great Wall of China? In our timeline, it's a brilliant architectural feat. In this alternate timeline, the Mongols just fly over it. The Song dynasty doesn't face a drawn-out siege. They receive a very polite, highly targeted, laser-guided demonstration on a nearby mountain, followed by an electronic treaty sent directly to the emperor. Asia is integrated into the empire in record time, forming a massive, highly efficient economic zone. Over in Europe, the heavily armored knights of the Holy Roman Empire are preparing for a classic medieval clash. Instead, they are met by a fleet of Nomad tanks. The famous European castles, designed to withstand months of catapult fire, are rendered completely obsolete by a single Yurt-launched bunker buster. Realizing that conventional warfare is impossible, European monarchs don't fight, they negotiate. The map of Europe doesn't fracture into hundreds of tiny feudal states. Instead, it becomes a heavily integrated corporate subsidiary of the Mongol global network. European lords are retrained as middle management for the Eurasian tech conglomerate. With the entire Afro-Eurasian landmass under one high-tech umbrella, we enter a hyper-advanced Pax Mongolica. Historically, the empire split into 4 Khanats: the Golden Horde, the Ilkhanate, the Chagatai Khanate, and the Yuan dynasty. In this timeline, they don't fracture due to civil war. They rebrand as regional administrative divisions. The Golden Horde in Russia becomes the empire's primary energy and aerospace testing ground. The vast, empty Siberian plains are perfect for launching the first Mongolian satellites. These satellites provide real-time weather tracking, ensuring nomadic herds never get caught in winter storms, and they provide an unblinking eye over the empire. Rebellion is mathematically impossible when a satellite can track the heat signature of an unauthorized gathering of swordsmen from low Earth orbit. The Ilkhanate in the Middle East becomes the center of advanced mathematics and computing. By combining ancient Persian algebra with Mongolian quantum computing processors, they essentially invent the internet centuries early. The famous House of Wisdom in Baghdad isn't destroyed. It is upgraded with a massive server farm cooled by the Tigris River. Meanwhile, the Yuan dynasty in China handles mass manufacturing and global commerce, turning the historical Silk Road into a literal network of magnetic levitation trains. If you ordered a Persian rug in Venice, a high-speed automated drone would have it delivered from Beijing in under 2 days. As the centuries progress, this unified global superpower faces a unique problem. The Mongol Empire was fundamentally driven by the concept of open skies and endless horizons. Once they have mapped, connected, and optimized every square inch of Earth, where do they go? The answer is obvious. The ultimate open step: space. By the 15th century, while our real history was just figuring out how to cross the Atlantic Ocean, the alternate high-tech Mongols are looking at the moon. To them, the moon isn't just a rock, it's the ultimate high ground. It's a place with zero walls and infinite potential. The aesthetic of their space program is completely unique. We are talking about sleek, aerodynamic spacecraft with interiors lined with high-tech felt and carbon fiber carpets. Their astronauts still drink synthesized fermented milk in zero gravity. When they finally land on the moon, they don't just plant a flag. They deploy an automated, self-assembling moon yurt. They establish the first extraterrestrial nomadic camp, grazing robotic solar-collecting rovers across the lunar surface. If we fast forward to the modern day of this alternate timeline, the world is remarkably peaceful. Mostly because everyone is too busy enjoying the benefits of a perfectly optimized global nomadic lifestyle. There are no borders, only continuous transit zones. Cities are not concrete jungles, but modular, movable smart camps that migrate with the seasons to optimize solar efficiency. The legacy of this high-tech Mongol Empire isn't one of destruction, but of ultimate, unstoppable connectivity. It teaches us a hilarious but profound lesson. It doesn't matter if you live in a stone castle or a felt tent. If you have the superior supply chain, the better communications network, and a really fast hover tank running on horse milk, you get to write the history books. So the next time you are frustrated that your modern food delivery is taking too long, just remember, in another universe, a mechanized falcon drone just dropped a perfectly hot 5-star meal onto a moving hover yurt somewhere in the Mongolian Alps. And that is a history we can all be a little jealous of.